Alright, Firm and Profit, you already know. This is Ryan, CEO. Basically, I'm gonna go over price action and how to profitably, um, you know, understand your charts. More than anything, when you're looking at price action, this is on MetaTrader 5. Like I said, it's nothing special. You don't need anything else to really trade with. You just need to understand chart flow. The reason why I use MetaTrader 5, as you can see, you got H2, H3, H4, your H6, your H8, your H12, your day one, your weekly one, and your monthly chart. So overall, we focus on the H1. Common sense, right? Okay. So first thing I do when I look at price action, I zoom out and I see my charts. The thing I love about MetaTrader 5 is that you can see a lot more bigger size fonts when you trade. What you do realize is that when you zoom out, you're going to see the moves a lot more clear. You get back, okay, you see black lines as candles, but more of the story is more to a candle. There's trend lines. Hold up. All right, back to what I was saying. Screw you, George. You already know what this is all about. So basically, at the end of the day, when I trade, oh my god, if your mic is on, can you mute it? Because I don't want to keep going back and doing that. Please. First thing I do with price action, as you can see, I took one low from here on the H1 and I connected it to here. And as you can see, it respected this, respected here, didn't retouch. But as you can see, when the baby capping for this week, it respected this. Little to no work, one line, I got price action working in my favor. It's very simple to perform. When you zoom in on your charts, you will see the moves more respectively. Right here, right here. I'm about to have some fun. Whose mic is that? Whose mic is that? I'm about to kick you out. Got you. Okay. All right. So, if it's choppy, like I said, I'm basically, make a video later on. Well, post a video later on, so don't worry about the choppiness. Just follow me when I'm doing with my trend lines so you guys can understand the concept. I call this method the spider web. I'm about to go crazy into it. Basically, trend lines is all about, basic price action, highs, lows, trend lines going from weekly lows to weekly highs, etc., etc. And the advantage of trend lines is understanding how the market will flow. There's nothing special needed to trade. Oh my god, whose mic is that, man? Going into the H3 chart. I mean, honestly, this is all I do to trade, man. It's crazy shit. You understand chart pattern flows a lot more easier. Trend line that bounced off from here, as you can see, eventually went down to here. Respected this, respected here, broke, etc., etc. Going into more depth. Like I said, this webinar is mainly for like the new people, but at the same time, I never really went into price action to this type of caliber. As you can see, the slant right here. the wicks. Market pushed through here, respected, bounced off. As you can see, market eventually became support down here in the section and became resistance right here before it broke out. The moving averages that I do use, I'm gonna show you those in a couple of seconds. I'll turn on some day breakers so you guys can see how I actually flow in my charts. How many people can't hear me? That's all I really want to know. But who could hear me too? Like, if you can hear me, type yes. If you can't hear me, type something. Alright, it's choppy, breaking up. Alright, cool. The video is gonna be posted. Don't worry about it. Just bear with me. And the screen is choppy. What? Alright, let me just try to get to this straightforward then. So I can post this up for you guys so you can trade, so you can look at it tonight, you know, play back, rewind, whatever you want. Trend line was right here, respecting the market movement. This is on the H3 chart. As you can see, when market respected this, where the 200 SMA is at, which is my orange. Market pushes down, consolidates. Go back to the H2 chart. You'll see the moves. H1 chart. It's like, this is easy shit, honestly. H6 chart is actually pretty fun as well. This freestyling trend line, so you guys can really understand. I took it from this low, as you can see in this slant. Market goes up, bounces off. This is on the support, bounces off. Support bounces off. It breaks a big candle. It takes a big candle to break a trend line. Eventually, this trend line becomes resistance as it coasts right upon this. Then becomes support once again. Support once again, and then it breaks out. That's on the H6 I drew that. So when I go to the H1, you're going to see how that respects the market. What I am going to do, so you guys can actually see that same line I was just drawing, I'm going to color it a different color. Let's make it, no. Let's make it magenta or some shit. There we go. Make it purple. As you can see, that same purple line respected all of this, and then it dropped. Market respects, becomes support, breaks it, becomes resistance. Becomes resistance, market drops, free falls. All these trend lines, as you can see, has this consistency. Big candles break trend lines. Honestly, this is all you're doing. I'm just going to go with strictly price action. So what I am going to do next after drawing these lines, what I want to do is really show you guys supply and demand. Going into Fibonacci retracements. Is this making sense to y'all so far? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already watch my videos to understand price action a little bit. But is this making sense so far? Does it make sense? Type yes or no. Okay. Alright, so now let me draw some supply and demand zones. As you can see, my little creation, which I call spider web, is all these trend lines. Basically, the moving averages I use is, I'm going to show you if I can get it up. It's in my data window. There it goes. I use it. You might want to write these down. These are the moving averages I use. the 800, the 400, the 200, the 100, and the 50. I'm going to type it in the chat. Now, it's not too much moving averages. I'm going to explain why I use them. I'm going to clear up the chart, and I'm going to draw supply and demand. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into more depth about why I use these moving averages. Believe it or not, these moving averages are used as support and resistance. And it's a little trick to it as well. But the keyword is support and resistance. So now that I drew my trend lines, I'm going to go to another EU chart. Probably I drew all over it. Holy shit. Yeah. I don't think I want to delete this one. This is one of my markups that I just leave on. So let me load another EU chart. Tripping. All right. We're going to go over the SMAs real quick. Each color it does a different type of thing. The thing about the color is mainly the colors are just my preference. Each color does a different thing, but the colors are my preference. You don't have to use the same colors I do. I just use that because, you know, I like things to pop at my screen when I look at it. Let's go over to 50. The 50 is this purple color line. As you can see, the 50 is an SMA that I love to use. Why? Because it acts fast within the market. The next moving average I have is the 100. When the 50 is above the 100, it means uptrend. When the 50 is going under the 100, it means a downtrend. So let me go show that in a display formation. 50 is perfectly above this black line, which is my 100. As you guys know, boom, as you can see, it's an uptrend. Also acts as support or resistance, in this case, resistance. It eventually crossed as the W formation went up to pull the 50 SMA. I want you to understand that when the W formation sometimes happens, it pulls the SMA in another direction. So it did that, pulled it, had its cross. When the candles are between the 100 and the 50, it consolidates, as you can see, until it broke out. It breaks out, does an N formation, and then it pulls right back down. 50 goes underneath the 100 once again. The 200 is my orange. The 400 is my blue. When the 200 is above the 400, it means an uptrend. When the 400 is above the 200, it means a downtrend. Then I have the 800 SMA, which is probably the strongest SMA I have on the chart compared to all the other ones, which acts as strong resistance, as you can see right here. I took a break recently. I posted live that I traded. Recently, I made like 1.5 for doing 6 standard lots. What I did was I caught the drop from here to here, and that was about $5,000. Well, not 5,000, my bad. 1,500. I got out before the pullback, and I didn't even bother with this. Why did I take that trade? Is because when I saw the N formation form, I knew it was a guaranteed drop. Even if it was a W formation for me, I knew it was a guaranteed drop because I had to break the support. Also, the 800 SMA acted as clear resistance, so I knew guaranteed my income was going to be very, very profitable. All right, so back to saying everything else, you know, let's go into some supply and demand. I just want to go over those SMAs and why I do use it. As you can also see, the 50 right here is acting as resistance, and it cuffed it just a little bit. I do believe the market's going to fall back down, by the way. As I use other higher time frames like the H6 or the H whatever chart, these SMAs all act as a stronger support and resistance. The higher the time frame, the stronger the trend. 800 SMA, as you can see right here, this is my blue. Got respected as resistance here, and then we got broken here. We came to support here, and then well, a big candle broke it. So that's a big profit right there. Going to supply and demand. If you already know about supply and demand, just it's not going to benefit you as much, but I'll have my fun doing it. Basically, I just take 2 lines. I'll do the same thing on my mobile. 2 lines in a square. And draw my zones. Papua, basically, to answer that, where the candles go between the SMAs, there's always going to be a consolidation inside of the SMAs. So when you see consolidation happens, usually that's a zone in the marketplace where it's been tested, or no, the 400 is the blue. The market, wow, what the hell? Basically, the market is always going to consolidate between an SMA. Not a lot of people know that, but there's tons of SMAs that you can do. But it's all about understanding price action levels, your reversals, your supply and demand zones. Those areas are critical to understanding when a consolidation zone is going to break out. But let me type it here. 50 is purple. 100 is black. 200 orange. 400 blue. Aqua. It's 800. I mean, you could pick your own colors, but if the 100 is above the 200 uptrend, if the 100 is underneath the 200 downtrend, if the 400 is above the 800 uptrend, if the 400 is underneath the 800 downtrend, you get the point. This is the same concept for any moving average. But let me get back to the supply and demand. As you can see right here, I drew one zone, which you're going to realize was between a hit right here of this hammer. So basically it's the Morningstar pattern that you see here. And I put another line right here because I saw it getting respectively hit in this zone, which is but just like in this case, it acted as a support zone. So it got hit once, got hit twice. So it's something respected in the market. So the only thing I had to do now was put a line there, put a line here, and shade in a box. As you can see, that becomes a valid zone for only one reason. When market either A, pushes with a strong candle, it breaks a zone. Or if you see a big candle, it breaks a trend line. As you can see, the market remained true when the market reversed. Why? Because it broke the zone. The zone was then again tested in supply as the market shot right back down. Market gets tested, hits the zone, market shot right back down. Simple supply and demand. Let me draw a demand zone. This is all you need to trade with. Another zone would be right here. It's all about zooming out your charts and understanding when to apply your knowledge. This is all like chess to me. It's like it's so simple. Like trading does get boring. Like I promise you that. Once again, another zone. Why? Because the market shot up, got respected over here, as you can see. So let me zoom in. Change this angle. H1 chart is your favorite chart to draw on, by the way. I just want everybody to understand that. This is NFP. Market touches right here off the zone. Market goes up. Market touches the zone. Market goes up. Takes a big counter to break the zone. Boom. Acts as a demand zone. Acts as a demand zone. When the zone is above the candles, it acts as a supply. As you see, market is consolidating all within the zone. Market shoots up, touches the zone. Market shot right back down. I love to draw on the H1. I don't even touch the H4, honestly, to draw. I just look at the H4 for one thing. True trend. Reversal pattern. M formation. Clear drop. H4 chart is pretty fun, as you can see, to understanding the market flow. Bigger M on the H4 chart means stronger trend. Let me go find the W. M right here again, stronger trend. W formation right here, super big rise. M formation on H4, stronger trend. And the H4 always lines up with the H1 chart. But if you want to really have fun with it, you know, you can go, just I like in the MetaTrader 5 to draw my stuff, because H2 chart and everything else. H3 chart is one of my favorite charts to draw on as well. H2 chart, see the M. H3 chart. I mean, this is probably one of the most boringest webinars because it's kind of redundant, but you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. I drew two zones, showed you about price action a little bit. Understanding these SMAs. Boom, this is the 400, got touched on the H3. Breaks out, 50 acts as a resistance. 800 gets consolidated with the 100 right here. 800 and 100 consolidation, breaks out, does a W formation. Takes a big counter to break the zones. Not only did this big counter bounce off the 800 as support, it broke through the 400, broke through the 50. 50 becomes the support. Boom. Lights out. Also, this is one other zone that you can see. I just didn't really, let me see if I can drag it over. Let me just do this real quick. See? Perfect. Boom. Respected. As you can see right here, acts as a supply zone. A demand zone. Market goes up, breaks it, goes back up, respects it, goes back up, respects it, etc., etc. Boom, respects it. Pretty simple. That's on the H3 chart. H2 chart. Same concept. H1 chart, H through H6 chart is pretty much the same stuff. But as you can see, these SMAs, I want you to really look at how these SMAs look in this H1 concept. H2, you can realize that they're a little different. H3, you can realize that they changed up once again a little bit more. H4, they were more different. H6 is different. H8, they're different. H8, as you can see, when the market shot to that high, right here, you don't see this on any other time frame, but the 800 respected that drop. See? Boom, 800 respects, market shoots down. 800 is super strong, so I kind of recommend it. Does everybody see the power at mt5? Yeah, I can't even see when I'm typing. What the hell? Is the any meeting window is so big? All right. So does everybody understand the mt5? Like how I use it? Okay. Does anybody have questions about supply and demand price action? This is for you guys. Like, this is why I wasn't gonna really record it. It's more of like a random gathering. But since the audio is messed up, I'll record it. I'm not gonna put it in my tab or anything like that. I just post inside of the group. Probably make it public. I don't really care. There's nothing like I'm going seriously over like, the strong details of fair market profit. Just simple price action, supply and demand, and some estimates that I use. Does this make sense for everybody? Back onto this HH chart, you're going to realize some more trends right here. Oh man, purple. See, boom, wicks, hits, breaks, resistance, support. Oh shit. I mean, you could go back and do this all day. Breakout right here from that same line that I drew. Market was above it. Oh, let's go to some Fibonacci. From this low, you could have drew right up to the high right here. The market is getting respected. Consolidations. Yeah, I could give an example of how to draw supply and demand. Um, bat. And do something else. I actually want to draw a better Fibonacci. Because I did mention before with Fibonacci retracements, if it's above the 0 line or underneath the 0 line, the market retraces back inside, etc., etc. So here we go. As you can see, market was above the 100 right here, and formation happened. Market drops. Market's underneath the 0. As you can see, W formation is trying to form before it goes back up. Hits inside of this demand zone, touches supply, hits right back down. I don't even know what to go over. This is so retarded easy. Oh my god. Hold on. Khalid, I'm gonna go over it right now. Just for you. Supply and demand. Probably not gonna redraw it, but I'm just gonna show you how I did it. Because the webinar is gonna be posted later on and you can go back and watch how I did some of it. Alright. Right here, I knew there was a line of support. Okay? Well, not support right here. Why did I draw that line? It's because I also saw support right here. So it gave me an accurate what's the word I'm looking for? It gave me an accurate decision to basically put a support line right there, which later on, was going to be broken through resistance. I knew there was another line right here because there was a low of a morning star plus a midweek reversal, as you can see. So I took a shaded box. Basically I could grow it as wide as possible because remember, supply and demand zone is about future and past movement in the marketplace. So there's forever going to be something in the past that's going to respect this, and something forever in the future that's going to respect this. So this morning star on the H1 chart, market shoots up. That's the supply zone. Oh no, this is the demand zone in this case. Later on, it becomes the supply zone. Here's another one. Drew it from here, the bottom. All of this was consolidation, which acted as resistance at the time, so it made common sense for me once again to draw another one right here. And as you can see, market does a W formation and shoots up. Later on, gets respected, has demand multiple times, and market just shoots. Do you understand that, Khalid? Basically, I was looking for M's and W formations, and I was looking for the most consolidated point to draw my supply and demand zone. Keyword was most consolidated point to draw my supply and demand zone. So I went over trend lines, I went over Fibonacci, I went over supply and demand. Oh, wait, the tool. Oh, no. You can draw it as wide as you want, but hold on, let me show you how to get the tool. You go here, you double click it, you go to customize, and you can have a whole bunch of things that you can add into your toolbar, which is going to be here. I just rearranged my toolbar. So for example, triangles. I don't want triangle. I remove the triangle. I close. You don't see the triangle no more. Go back in here, go to customize. I want to add back my triangle, which I probably won't even use, honestly. I haven't really gotten to that Fibonacci. And then look, you could you could drag it into the position that you want. Now my triangle is next to my rectangle. So it's basically horizontal lines in a square. If you want to change the color, you just double click the square, go to properties, and then you can change the color to whatever you want. I did light gray, so if I want to change it to cyan or pale turquoise, I can. But in this case, I use light gray, so it doesn't really mess up all the other colors that I have on my chart. Keep it simple. Got it? Yeah, done. No shit. Y'all can see me? Y'all can hear me? We good? Alright. Dom, you can hear me? Because this is for you. What I'm about to do is just close out of this. I'm probably going to do another one later on tonight, like I said. So I could, give you guys this recording as fast as possible. I don't know, it's just for my service. All right, so I'm gonna post this right now in the group. My bad. Let me get to it. Ugh, this is so embarrassing, man.